what I would say is there's some issues we're supposed to disagree on. This probably is one of them.
Right.
And you may, and frankly, it comes down to use of taxpayer funds for abortions. And with respect to the Vietnam War and many other ideological issues, there's never really been any kind of policy position taken other than to say you're stuck with that. But on the question of abortions, we've lived for 30 years under the Hyde Amendment in Washington, and we've adopted a policy in Virginia, I think, probably not strictly adhered to, in which we typically don't use taxpayer funds to fund abortions in Virginia either.
Senator Northern, I believe you had a question to the patron.
I did, yes. Just a clarification. Let's say that if a mother, through genetic testing, it was determined that the fetus had a non-viable condition, such as a chromosomal abnormality. I could go on and on as far as different things. Would your bill preclude them from being covered by the insurance policy?
Mr. Chairman, it would not preclude the mother from being covered under an insurance policy. It only affects whether insurance policies that are available under the exchange are going to provide coverage for abortions. Now, that mother would be qualified and would be eligible for coverage. If that mother makes a determination that she is going to abort her unborn child in the absence of endangerment of the mother, then yes, that elective procedure would not be covered under that policy.
So what we would be asking,
Senator Chairman, does that complete your question?
No, sir.
Okay, Senator Northern.
We would be asking a mother to carry a fetus that we know is not going to be viable for more than 24 hours.
The mother would be able to make her own choice.
But not covered.
That's correct.
Other questions to the patron? Please come forward.
Good morning. I guess it's still morning. Mr. Chairman and members of the subcommittee, my name is Jessica Honke, and I'm the Director of Public Policy for Planned Parenthood Advocates of Virginia. I'm here today to oppose Senate Bill 1202. I would like to first point out that there are no taxpayer dollars, not federal dollars or state dollars, that would be paying for elective abortion coverage in any private insurance plan sold in Virginia's exchange. That is specifically spelled out in the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act says abortion can only be covered with federal dollars when it is the case of rape, incest, or threat to the woman's life. Otherwise, the abortion has to be paid for with private premium dollars only, and those have to be strictly segregated from any federal subsidies being used to buy the insurance policy. Since this is not about taxpayer dollars, then it is about private premium dollars and insurance policies being sold by private insurance companies. Since when does our state tell people they cannot spend their own money on something a private company wants to sell them? A prohibition on private insurance companies covering abortion care would mark a stark departure from the status quo. In the current private health insurance marketplace, most health plans provide coverage for abortion services as part of the broader health care package. Senate Bill 1202 is particularly harmful to those most vulnerable women. This bill allows insurance coverage for abortion in only the narrowest of circumstances, if a woman's life is in danger, rape, or incest. But this standard excludes many circumstances where a woman's health may be at risk if she continues a pregnancy. For that reason, it might force a woman to risk her health because she cannot afford to end the pregnancy, even though it is necessary to protect her health. For example, if a pregnant woman is diagnosed with cancer and wants to end her pregnancy so that she may begin chemotherapy. Further, if a woman needs an abortion due to a fetal anomaly, she would be forced to pay for the care she needs out of pocket, which, like if her health was threatened, could cost several thousands of dollars at a minimum. I lastly would like to point out that the federal health care exchange reform law does not require state health insurance exchanges to be in place until 2014. Many departments here in Virginia are currently doing research and planning needed to build a better health insurance marketplace and determine how Virginia's exchange will be operated and governed. Given the time frame, there is no reason for the legislature to take this matter up at this time. That all being said, this bill is an unprecedented attempt to take comprehensive private health insurance coverage away from women in the Commonwealth. Abortion is a legal medical procedure and most insurance plans cover it. In a time of economic uncertainty and hardship, Virginia should be doing everything it can to provide help to women and families. The last thing we should do is take important coverage away from them. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Again, we would ask you to be concise and non-repetitive.
Good morning again. My name is Charina Keene. I'm the Executive Director of NARAD Pro-Choice Virginia, and we are here to oppose this bill. No woman ever plans on having an abortion. But insurance coverage is there when the unexpected occurs. That is why most private insurance plans already include coverage for abortion. In fact, many women do not even realize they have this coverage until they absolutely need it. And thankfully, for most women, it's already there. What we are talking about here today is giving you, the government, the ability to impose your will on how people spend their private money and make private decisions. It also restricts private companies from selling a product people want to buy. The majority of insurers operating in Virginia today already offer abortion coverage in their plans. Furthermore, the Commonwealth has never before prohibited insurers from covering a particular benefit in private plans. This bill is government intrusion at its worst. It goes against our free market capitalistic principles, and it goes against our democratic values. Proponents of this bill claim taxpayer dollars are going to be used to pay for abortions in the new healthcare exchanges. And while we may not know exactly what the federal government is going to decide what's in the basic healthcare exchange, we already know and have our answer on how abortion will be covered, or will be covered. Congress and the Obama administration took great pains to ensure that abortion is not paid for with taxpayer money. In fact, the president issued a signing statement that said the Hyde Amendment applies to all federal plans, or all federal funds used to subsidize health care for individuals and small businesses. I don't know how much more explicit you can get than that. There's absolutely no way anyone can claim that taxpayer money, whether state or federal, is going to pay for the abortion in the exchange. Healthcare reform was designed to open up the doors for people who for too long have gone without health care and health insurance. It was designed to protect people's health, not impede it. And although government is the conduit for citizens and health care, it is not the right of government to interfere with the private doctor-patient relationship by telling an individual that she cannot use her private dollars to buy private health coverage for necessary medical care. We have a wonderful opportunity to give 14% of Virginians without health care a chance to join the health insurance rolls. I hope you will not deny them the full range of reproductive options that they may choose. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Others here to speak in opposition? We would ask you if the testimony has already been reflected in the remarks to try to keep it very brief, please.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going to say, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, just that we join with the testimony of Planned Parenthood and NARAL and go on record as also opposing this bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Others here in opposition? Senator Openshain, we're going to let you wrap up.
I never thought I would say this, but I want to thank NARAL for making it clear, I think if I understood them, that this bill does what federal law already does, so no harm will be done by passing this bill. So, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, with that assurance and reassurance, I hope that it will be the pleasure of this committee to put out this good piece of legislation.
The bill is before the committee for action.
Mr. Chairman,
Is there a motion?
with the NARAL's task and enforcement, I would recommend the bill be reported.
Is there a second? It's been moved and seconded the bill be reported.
Substitute motion.
Substitute motion. Senator Sandstorm.
I move that Senate Bill 1202 be passed by indefinitely.
Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion on the motion to PBI. Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to PBI signify by saying aye. All those opposed. Can you record your notice? Does that work? Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you, Senator Overchain. Let me just apprise the committee, just in the audience, to give you a little bit of a scale where we are. How many bills do we have left on the docket? We have 4 bills to hear, and I think this is your, including yours. So Senator Overton.
Well, since this is a different team, I'm hopeful that the committee may
This is Senate Bill 810,
different view.
and this was heard